I am Kevin, and this is my co-host Chanel, and we host this show called The Back and Forth. Hopefully, that's why you came today to watch The Back and Forth. This is a show done by co-parents about co-parents, and we talk about the things that co-parents go through. And we ran across an article out there on the interweb that we like to share with you. But before we share it, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and notification button down here so you all know when we put this new content out there. And if you're there and you watching the show, leave us a comment. Let Chanel know that she looks good in her glasses and her hair is flowing and everything. She got a nice body to her hair and everything. Let us know something that you took a look at it. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But
seriously, Kev, that's what we're doing today?
I'm just saying. I'm paying your compliment.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, no problem. Chanel, on a serious note, there's a basketball player. I'm not sure if you know of him or anything. Have you ever heard of him? His name is Shaquille O'Neal, but he goes by the name of Shaq. Have you ever heard of him?
Oh yeah, he lives right in my neighborhood.
Oh, okay. Oh, you got it like that. Oh, here we go. That changed it. That changed
the neighborhood of McDonough. Okay, the neighborhood of
changed the whole
McDonough,
conversation
Georgia.
here. You all bougie and stuff. I gotta talk. Whatever. So
no, the neighborhood of McDonough, Georgia. Go ahead.
We ran across an article, Chanel, and the article was about this. It says Shaquille O'Neal says he has different house rules for his kids after turning 18. He tells his boys, y'all get out. Y'all got to go. I'm sorry, to 18. And his girls can stay as long as they want. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it says out there right there. But just give you a little insight into what it's about before we jump into it, Chanel. Okay, shall we?
Sure.
So it says that Shaq says that he likes his girls a little better because as a man, you have to protect, provide, and love your women. He trusts his girls more because they're more sensitive, they're more caring, and they're thinkers. He said, you know how boys are. My boys, you bring something to them and bring something in front of them and they're gone. I tell my boys, when y'all get 18, y'all got to go. Girls can stay as long as they want.
Yay.
Yeah. That's it, Chanel. I don't want to give you I'll give you a little bit more about it, but what are your thoughts on that just initially? What are your thoughts on that?
So initially, I love it. I love the idea. I'm a daddy's girl, and the idea that I don't have to worry about paying bills. I don't have to worry about any of those things that I don't like worrying about now. Is appealing. I can go to school. Don't have to worry about anything really. Now, here's the reason I believe Shaq said that. Historically, girls are going to go home and take care of their fathers. They're going to make sure their dads are good. Especially if he's a good dad, they're going to make sure that dad is good. Mom, she all right. But we're going to make sure our dads are good. Boys, however, generally, if they had a good mom, they're going to make sure their mom is good. They're going to be sneaking money into mom's purses. They're going to do those types of things. They're not sneaking money into their dad's wallets.
Okay.
Daughters, we're going to make sure our dads eat and he's good and he's healthy and he goes to his doctor's appointments, because guess what? Sometimes even our moms or his wife is not going to be able to convince him like his little girl is. So we have a level of influence as young ladies. Young men may have that same level of influence on their mothers. Okay. So I can see why Shaq would say that. In my opinion, as a mom, I feel like that too. I feel like, yeah, my son, he does wrong, but in my eyes, he can't do no wrong to y'all. Okay? If I had a little girl, I would probably be like, yep, she got a bad attitude. I don't know. I don't know why it's made up that way, but sometimes, again, that's kind of the thing. And I think Shaq not being married, I think he would appreciate having his daughters around to make sure, things are, things are good at
Mm-hmm.
the house. What are your
Okay.
thoughts, Kev?
Well, that was a great point you made there, Chanel. I like you actually put some thought into it. You're very articulate with your
Actually, put some
words.
thought. Like I don't do
Yeah,
that.
you're very articulate with your reasoning. If this was a debate session, I would give you a head nod. I understand where you're coming from with that. I want to add something, and then I'll jump into the rest of the article. So Shaq says he's making this. He has the money. Shaq can do whatever he want to do. He can pay for his kids' lives over and over again, grandkids, great grandkids. For all Shaq's well to do, well off man. Here's the thing: every child is different. We all are unique, and what may have worked for you growing up may not work for the child that you have now. So you are basing your assumption. You know your children better than anybody. But sometimes children run into obstacles that they don't know how to get over, around, under, or go through. So by telling somebody that when you're 18, you got to go, where is that anywhere? Where do we say that? And this is the reason why I'm bringing this up, because you see a lot of kids out here right now that are homeless. You see a lot of kids out here right now that almost like declawed cats. They can't fend for themselves. Because at 18, you are still developing. You lay down with somebody. And so are you telling me that there's a clock that shows I've got 18 summers with my child? I've been seeing it lately, and that's where I'm bringing it up. I know I only had 18 summers with my child, and I'm trying to make the best of it. Who says you only got 18 summers with your child? What if your child decides to go to school, go to junior college in the same city you're in? They don't have a dorm. Are you putting your child out at 18 when they're going to junior college? What if your child goes to trade school because they don't want to go to college? College is not for everybody. And you can't say that an 18-year-old is going to be able to go out there and fend for himself in this world right now with the job market. Jobs are plentiful, but inflation is so high, you'd have to find roommates to live with. And we know utilities, rent, car, gas, food, all that stuff that you have to pay for. At 18 years old, are you ready to do that really? Really? I mean, so I understand what he's saying, because it says in the article, Chanel, he said that he is dead serious. He said the girls can stay as long as they want. Take your time. Go to college, get your master's, get your doctorate. I'll pay for it. Take your time, he says. He calls it tough love, but that's the way he was raised. And so, not to say that the way he raised was Sarge, his stepfather raised him that way, and it worked for him. But Shaq is a one of a kind, just like Chanel is a one of a kind. Kevin is a one of a kind. Your child is a one of a kind. My 6 kids are all one of a kinds. And the one thing they will tell you is this right here: do not compare me to my sister or my brother, because I am not them. So I understand what he's saying. He has the right to say those are his children. But I know that the way things are right now, we have to be careful about throwing our kids to the wolves, because everybody's not going to make it. And now what?
Well, also part of the article, Kev, is he has taken. He says he is taken put forth the effort to make sure that they're not declawed cats.
I understand that. But at 18, Chanel, what kind of clause do you have at 18? What if you don't go to college? What then? I'm just saying. What are they going to do?
The tools that they have
His
are
money.
going to be able to still, the tools that they have. He didn't go into what he has set up for each of his kids at 18. What
Yeah.
I'm saying is he explained that they have the tools to survive. He's not just throwing them out there declawed.
The article flat out says He says after they hit that age, they must find another place to live.
Okay. So what else did he say about the tools that he ensured that they would have?
He said that. Well, he said he made sure that his boys have the tools to face the real world and stay fit to live on the wild planet we have now.
Wow. So he's not trying to pretend that this is a perfect world. So they have a tool. They have the tools to stay fit in the wild world we live. That doesn't sound like a declawed cat to me, Kev.
I just look at it from the standpoint of Chanel, and Chanel, you can talk to it a lot. I can also from personality traits. Different personalities react differently to different things, different type of stressors in life. And you know as well as I do, you see a lot of rich kids, rich kids who have rich parents. Those kids tend to a lot might they can't function well. If I'm just I'm trying to give a soft answer here. They don't function. A lot of them don't function well out there. They end up on drugs. They end up depressed. Some of them living wild and free. And I'm just saying, Chanel, at 18 years old, I was in the military. I was gone from home. And so I was out there in the real world living at 18 years old. But some people are not built for that. Like, my daughters who went to college and stuff like that, they tell you about the freshmen in college. Some of these kids can't wash their clothes. They don't know how to wash clothes. They don't know how to make food. They're struggling because they're away from home for the first time because they've been under their mom or dad's roof their whole life, and now they're at 18 years old. They're in college and they're trying to live it up and trying to be responsible. But there's certain things they still don't know yet, and you have to learn. But sometimes that learning comes at a cost. And so, are we willing as parents to let our children learn those lessons at the cost that it could cost them? Everybody's not Shaq. Everybody doesn't have the tools to put for the kids and put the kids out there so they can live in this wild and crazy world, as he says. So, but what about the regular common man out there, man and woman out there who's trying to put their children, they got 4 or 5 other brothers and sisters behind them, and they're putting their children out at 18.
Yeah. I definitely agree that we don't need to put our children out there unprepared. But what I am saying is keeping them in the home and still not preparing them is not doing them any good either.
Well, he says his daughters can go to college. So if you're going to school, you got to come back home in the summertime. You got to come back home and for break, because you can't live in the dorms. Right.
Right. But what I'm saying, I'm speaking to the common, I'm speaking just to the principle of teaching our kids life skills, whether you have all the money in the world or you have no money. Life skills are going to be necessary, period. Whether they stay in the house until they're 45, 55. If they don't have life skills, they're not going to be ready for the real world if you put them out at 55.
True.
Right? So do we say we're going to keep them in the house because they're not ready for the real world and still not teach them? Or do we go ahead and teach them these developmental things before they turn 18 so that when they do go to college, they're not out there embarrassing us?
Yeah, it's true. It reminds me of a sermon TD Jakes had about the nest. He's talking about the eagle in the nest. And he's talking about how, when the eagle first has the babies, she goes out and she brings food back for them. But as those birds start getting bigger and bigger, the nest starts getting smaller and smaller. And so what does mom do? She starts nudging them out, slowly but surely. She's trying to get them out because they've got to go to the point where she basically pushes them out and they've got to fly.
Yeah.
And so we have to, like we say, like Shaq said, he gives his kids the tools. So maybe his tools are different than everybody else's tools, and he's setting them up for success. Like Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, he flat out said when they die, they're not leaving their children any money because they've set them up for success. So here you go off, fly, young bird, fly. And so if that's what he is doing, then kudos. When it comes to the gender separation, I understand what you were talking about from the beginning, how young ladies take care of their fathers and the boys used to take care of their mom. We understand that. But I just think sometimes we have to be careful because that does show. He said he likes his daughters better.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different world nowadays. And so just because it worked for you might not work for your children now, because some people may take that and be resentful for it. Mm-hmm. Because my dad just said that. I'm like, what the heck did I do? I'm not a bad kid. I never did anything wrong, but he likes my sisters better than me. What did I do? I didn't do anything wrong. But see what I'm saying? See how that could come off? That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. It could come off wrong. It doesn't matter how strong, how big, or how tough a man you are. You're different type of personalities, dominant, emotional, cautious, and then you got the sympathetic type. So you got to be careful who you have. You have to know your children and know what gets them to get that oomph up under their butt to push them. And so that's all I'm saying. We got to be careful. That's all I'm saying on that subject. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely feel like we need to be mindful about the emotional aspect of all of our children, because again, even in adult life, you and I both know this, Kev, that even in adult life, men may have a hard exterior to the world, but at some point, in their intimate relationships, they want to take that off. Yeah. And even women now, we have to show up with a hard exterior in our world. Mm-hmm. And at some point, we want to take that off because it gets too heavy and overwhelming at times. So again, we just as parents need to be mindful of each individual child, not necessarily the gender or anything like that, but each individual child has their own specific unique gifts and abilities and talents and qualities. And hopefully we can nurture each of those in a unique way that all of our children feel like they're the best.
Yeah, that's all I have. Dropping them dimes. Woo-hoo-hoo. Chanel be taking that stuff and running with it, boy. She said some words I didn't even hear. I heard nurture. I heard equality. I heard all kinds of stuff. Hey, if this is your first time tuning into this show, y'all have tuned in for a great one today. Chanel was on her A game today. Usually she's out there on between B and C, but today she was on A, and man, she brought it today. She even convinced me that I was wrong. Maybe I'm in the back or the fourth. I don't know what I was today, but I was something. But Chanel brought me around to her side of the debate. Man, that is you. Man, this is we ain't getting paid enough for this show. Woo.
Y'all pray for me. Look, y'all pray for me. Just say a prayer. Even if you ain't got nothing to say, just lift your hand and think about me, okay? This is what I got to deal with on a weekly basis.
Hey, if it wasn't for me, you would just be the back.
I'm done. Y'all.
Chanel.
First.
Chanel, I'm going to tell the people to stay safe. You already jumped out and said put God first. Getting people what they supposed to get. You want to give them before we get out of here.
Look. Y'all look down in the description. Y'all can follow us on IG, and definitely on our IG links, you will see all the wonderful things we have going on. Kev has some amazing things going on. His special book that he just has coming out, which I think is absolutely amazing. And so definitely take a look at our Instagram links and see, there it is, y'all. Oh, there it is over there. It's not over there. It's not over there. It's over here. Anyway, yes, y'all peruse through the description and click on those links and find all of the amazing things that we have to offer just for you.
And if you haven't done so by now, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and notification button like we asked y'all to do at the beginning. I just want to make sure y'all heard me. Hit the like, subscribe, and notification button that's down there on the bottom, right up under the screen. You will see it down there. Just click on it. Just humor us.
See if it works.
Click on it. Yeah, see if it works. I want to see if it works when y'all click on it. But that's all we got. Hey guys, be careful, parents, how you treat your different children, because they're all unique. And that's all I got. We out.
We out.